September. It's September 2, 2021, and we will be streaming the swimming men's and women's heats in a few minutes. It will start in about 4 minutes. Thank you for waiting. And nawala ang ating audience. Ayan. For the meantime, let's just leave you here. Ayan, it's very early in the morning, so looks like everyone is still sleeping. Hello, doggy. Got great blue skies today. Yan, in 2 minutes, our live streaming for the Paralympic swimming will begin. So everyone's been waiting. Please stand by. Wala, miski yung Tokyo ata ay tulog pa. Ayun, nag-start na. Good morning everyone, and welcome to the audio broadcast of the swimming heats.
It's day 9 of the swimming competition as we welcome you to the Tokyo Aquatics Center for the preliminary session. It is on a day that will see 15 medal swims. This is, however, the heats which allows, of course, 8 competitors to advance to a final. There are 13 sets of heats to be swum, 29 in total, before the 8 finalists for each of the events are confirmed. What swimming competition we've seen so far already with with RPC and People's Republic of China doing particularly well, Italy, Ukraine as well, and the United States recently into double figures in terms of medals won. On the schedule for you today, we're going to be starting off with the 400 Freestyle S6 for men and women. We've got Butterfly S9 for you to enjoy, 100 meter backstroke S10, and we've also got some sprints towards the closing end.
Hold on guys, nag-loading tayo.
Lower classifications going in, and Team Mexico should be among the more excited contingents for today's races. We begin with the men's 400 meter freestyle S6, but Deb, just a quick thought on the morning's session.
So I'd say the ones to watch would be the women's 400 freestyle S6. You've got Nora Meister going up against Mareshko, and then the 2 Brits, Ellie Simmons and Macy Summers-Newton. Ellie Simmons has not won an individual medal here yet, so she's going to be on a tear. And then another one would be the men's S250 back. We see Arujo, and we know he's a character, going up against Abarsan Bondarenko. And then, of course, closing it.
This is hit 1 of the men's 400 meter freestyle S6. Wait lang guys. We are loading.
Oh, yep. Two in the women for the 50 back. That should be good.
We begin with the men's 400 meter freestyle S6, the first heat of 2. The delegation from Cuba is watching on because one of the legends of Paralympic swimming goes in the opening heat in an event in which the world record has not been broken since Anders Olsson set it in 2009, the champion of Beijing the previous year.
So we have 7 swimmers, including the Philippines, Gary Bejino at lane
400 free S6 start. That's the first heat. Lorenzo Perez of Cuba, the all-time great. Andre Ganitska will have a go. And Taliesin Glock, who can set fast times in preliminaries and get himself decent lanes for finals, will be going as well.
So if he's lucky, he will
competitors will make their way to the pool deck shortly. Unlike the final session, they will not be introduced separately. They will come out together. One of the great sports of the Paralympic Games, paraswimming, behind athletics in terms of participation numbers, but certainly one of the great sports of para sport across the board at the Paralympic Games. In glorious conditions all around this venue. The warm-up pools, the diving well, the actual pool that is used for competition, 10 lanes wide, 25 meters across, 50 meters in length. So the S6 classification, men's 400 freestyle first on the cards. There are 6 swimmers that go in the opening heat. There'll be 7 that go in the second heat.
So a total of 13 swimmers.
Claimed to post the time in the top 8 overall. There is the Cuban legend. In 2016, after being around for quite some time, he became the very first ever Paralympic Games swimming gold medalist from Cuba, and that was in the 100 free. He missed out on the final of the 100 free by mere hundredths of a second. Maybe an opportunity for him to get himself back into podium contention in the 400 free. I think alongside him, though, Andre Ganitska of RPC. He's already won gold in the 100-meter breaststroke, and Taliesin Glock will go alongside him, a man who not only hails from Brazil, but has managed to claim a number of medals already at the Paralympic Games. But just with the one arm, the heavy tattoo sleeve down that right arm for Taliesin Glock. hit by a train as a youngster. Should cause the amputations on the left side of his body, left leg and left arm. But he's having a very good meet.
And now in the water,
In water start for Granička in 5.
Gary Bejino of the Philippines is in lane 7. Let's go, Gary.
Glock gets away very nicely. Perez into the water he goes and immediately into his stroke, but Glock is leading the way in the early stages. 400 freestyles, 8 lengths of this Olympic-sized pool.
So this is 8 laps, 400 meters.
Taliesin Glock to go out hard. He does tend to want to put in the good times. Perhaps a confidence booster for him to go into a final knowing that he can swim decent times.
Yeah, definitely. And then the other swimmer I'd say here to watch out for is Granička. Granička was second at World Championships to Antonio Fontin, not the world record holder, but the champion at the 2019 World Championships in London. If there's anyone that could potentially challenge the world record, it would be Fontin going in this next heat. But Glock is definitely going to want to hang with him, and he's probably going to want one of those center lanes so that he can keep an eye on Fontin the whole time. Granička, though, right now he's in 4th place. He's falling behind a little bit, but he has a very strong second half. So we would expect him to start to make his move, maybe the next 100 or even the one after.
Certainly, Fontin, who goes in the second heat, is undoubtedly the favourite for the gold medal, the fastest time in the world this year, the best time in Madeira, Funchal in May, where he won his first continental title. But right here, right now, Granička has really been the only para swimmer in the last couple of years who's been able to stick with him. But this is Taliesin Glock, and he's riding a good wave of confidence, is Taliesin Glock, and he's got plenty of leg power.
Definitely. I mean, one thing that's important for him is that because he only has that one right arm and the right leg, is that he maintained the stroke the entire time. It's hard as he gets more into the 400, the 3 and the 400. Once that arm and the leg start to tire out, that's where the swimmers have the use of both arms are going to start to try to make their move.
So Taliesin Glock and Juan Gutierrez, who goes for Mexico in the second heat with his brother. They've actually posted fast.
Oh, we have one viewer. Nomar Fetal Vero. Wala naman live mo. Ano lang po, Norman, audio lang po kasi bawal pong ipakita ang
Gutierrez has been posting the times closer to Fontin.
Mapapalo po
Glock is
tayo
swimming
ng
to that sort of time now. The
Paralympic
split coming up to the 200 as Glock just
YouTube.
eases his way. Going alongside him though in lane
Ngayon po ay
3
kalalat si Gary.
is Vyacheslav
Siya
Lenski
po ay panghuli.
of RPC. Lenski is making up
Naiwan na po
a little
siya.
bit of time here. He's up to within 3 odd seconds of Taliesin Glock.
He is in one place where Lenski is really doing a great job and trying to not only keep an eye on Glock, but also try and take some lead over Granička is on the turns. You can see that Granička does not have the best of turns. He really doesn't get anything off the walls, whereas Lenski, he doesn't get so much of a push, but he is able to use his walls a little bit more effectively. He comes into and out of them a bit quicker.
Lenski is making up a little ground on Glock here. As we go to the 250-meter mark, you really want to be getting yourself into position to make your biggest move around the 300. After that, it's going to be too difficult to catch any swimmers if they are getting away from you. Perez just falling a little off the pace here. But Glock is leading the way, despite the fact that Lenski is closing, going for 3 alongside him. And Granička is up in 3rd at the moment as Perez drops back. And there is Lenski. Bear in mind, a bronze medalist at both the European and World Championships is Lenski. He's quietly gone about his business without much fanfare and doesn't quite get the recognition perhaps he deserves.
But right now, I mean, Glock is way out there, but Lenski, he's really managed to make up some time. You could see him start to creep up during that 3rd 100, but now Glock, he's really going to turn it on his way home. You see him start to splash a little bit more with that leg. Perhaps the arm stroke is going to increase pace a little bit, but he's so far ahead, he can sort of put it on cruise control for this preliminary swim because there's no doubt that he's going to take this heat unless there's a huge charge at the end from Lenski.
Oh, that is what Glock likes to do. Go to the front, and he does have great leg power with that right kick. Certainly not seeming to let up with the intensity of the swim. Glock turns at the 350 mark. is Taliesin Glock
Brazil
of
is still
Brazil,
in the
who
lead.
is well and truly in
RPC
front.
at
It's
second.
now a 4-second lead over Lenski. So just leaving Lenski behind.
Gary
Maybe not
Bejino of the
completely on
Philippines,
cruise
I
control,
think,
but
is currently
he's
at
going to
the
bring it
last
home
place.
relatively easily.
Yeah, and then Granichka coming up in the third place right now. You know, Granichka, he looks smooth, he looks pretty calm, but Lenski, he's put quite a bit of distance between himself and Granichka, which is surprising given how strong that Granichka has been in prior years. But, you know, as you noted, he hasn't really been so close to his times before, so you never really know what's going to happen during finals.
Glock touches first then ahead of Lenski, and indeed Granichka
Black
is going to make his way to the wall. Third overall. Perez will
And then
be coming home in fourth, but Taliesin Glock,
RPC.
good swim from the Brazilian. And his ability to recover is
RPC at second and third.
almost legendary in Brazil. He should have plenty left for the final. Vyacheslav Lenski with a second place touch with Granichka, also of RPC. Gold
Ayun,
medalist
si
already in the
Gary
breaststroke.
Bejino po ay panghuli.
Coming home third. Perez touching fourth overall, and fifth was Leo McRae of Switzerland, a 5:40.08 for him, well outside his personal best. While Gary Bejino of Philippines comes to the wall now, he too well outside his PB. But Taliesin Glock a 5:06.
Ayan,
And that's
medyo hindi
a
po
pretty good
maganda
time
ang
to
langoy ni
post.
Gary.
5 minutes would have been ideal, but a 5:06 is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, and, you know, 5 minutes, certainly, if possible, Fentine is going to go under 5 minutes, if not this morning, definitely tonight. And here's Glock, just that very